just waiting. I'm just going to double check and see who's on here. Let's see. Oops. Just a minute. Am I live yet? Oh, I am live. Okay. Alright. Let me just tip this a little better. I have to have hands free, so whoops. There we go. I think that's better. Let me turn the light on. Not a good light. Alright, well, anyway, so I wanted to do this mask effectiveness test, mask danger test, or whatever you want to call it, and because I'm an occupational therapist by trade, and when I work with my patients, I need to check and I haven't worked for a while, but when I did, I had all the equipment. I had, my blood pressure machine, my pulse oximeter, and I use it on myself too because of my own medical things. So I have an arrhythmia, and I have an enlarged left atrium, which is not a nice thing because it's a symptom of other more severe things that they're not telling you is going on, because we know these doctors. But anyway, they do admit that suddenly now I have an enlarged left chamber, but I haven't had any cardiac conditions because I haven't been working myself outside, exerting myself. So I've been pretty good, but I've also been getting out of shape. So I have to start bumping it up. The thing is, I got these masks, okay? And I want to show you what happens with your oxygen with these masks. Now, I'm going to be showing you at rest. Now, when we test our patients, it's usually we test them before they do their exercises at rest, and then we test them during their exercises, like when we get them up and using their walkers, and then we'll test them after they sit down to see the recovery, see how quickly, because when they exert themselves, their blood pressure can go up, their heart rate can go up, blood pressure can drop, oxygen can drop. When it goes under 90, and if at rest and it doesn't recover, is when we want them on oxygen tank, or forced air, compressed air, air compressor. There's different ways. They can either give oxygen, it depends on what's happening, that they would give either oxygen or forced air. The other consideration isn't just the oxygen exchange biologically, because it could be a blood problem, it could be a weakness problem from the pump in the heart, it could be the lungs don't have the elasticity because of disease processes or the loss of lung capacity. There's a lot of reasons why you would choose either oxygen over an air compressing machine, or a combination of the both. And the differences between those reasons could mean life or death. So this is why they were mismanaging the COVID, because they had a bunch of resident doctors that didn't know shit, and medical students, and the attendings cover for them. Of course, they charge more for the people who die from COVID, you know that, but there's a big difference in how you treat these people for the different, various reasons why they're not taking in oxygen. Whether it's, anemia for some reason, there are different reasons. Very often it's because of the heart, but it's not always. It could be the lungs. It could be, very different reasons. Also, to consideration, it would be, of course, excessive weight is another reason, or being pregnant is another reason, or being in high altitudes. When I was pregnant and I went to Denver, it was very, very hard to breathe because the air was much thinner. They even tell you to bake your cake longer because the air pressure doesn't get hotter as quickly, or the pressure or something. I don't know the science behind it, but the altitude has a lot to do with the air the amount of oxygen in the air as well. So I want to demonstrate to you, I have several different masks here. I will start with the 8, 20, 10, N95 mask, okay? I happen to have this one. I had it because, you know, for when I do my sanding projects. So I want to show you my pulse oximeter here, and it gives you your heart rate and it gives you your oxygen. And I wanted to show you what happens to my oxygen with each of these different masks that I have. And I'm going to do a little scientific demonstration for you. So I'm going to use the N95, then I'm going to use one given to me by the doctor's office since I didn't have one. They gave me one. They were kind enough instead of kicking me out. And this is layered with like a felt and then a thin cotton on top of it. Then I have a really thin cotton one that I made. It's really loosely fitting. And then I just got delivered this from the masksforconnecticut.org. They gave me these, so I'll use one of these for a test. So I will show you the oxygen levels for each mask. Okay, so first we're going to do it on room air. Now remember, I'm at rest. I'm not exerting myself. I already have, my oxygen's a little bit low. It doesn't always go to 100. Normally doesn't. It goes to like 98, sometimes 99. But, well, let me use this finger. But anyway, with each mask, I already did a test pilot run. Okay, so this is at rest. Right now it's 97 because I'm talking a lot. When you talk a lot, you breathe a lot, you exert yourself. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Alright, so it's 97 right now. And the other thing is, too, I'm broken out. I'm broken out from wearing a mask. I went to the doctor yesterday, 2 days ago, and I broke out because I was wearing a mask. And, alright, 98. Alright, so now I'm going to put on the N95 mask. And I'm going to show you what happens to my oxygen. This is sitting still at rest. Room air. And the window is wide open. The wind is blowing in. Okay. Now let's watch what happens to this. Whoops. Okay. I don't know if you can see. $96. 96. Can you see it? Now if I was exerting myself, I would surely go lower than that. And I know it's gone. It went to 95 before when I did it. Probably because I'm talking, I'm taking deeper breaths. Now if I was up in Denver, it would drop faster, because the air is thinner. So it depends on where you are too, the altitude. It depends on other biological and metabolic factors. It depends on your heart. It depends on your lung capacity. It depends on your blood and your hemoglobin and iron. There's a lot of different reasons that you could have a serious problem with this. So mine went down from 98 to 96, and it's pretty much, alright, we bounced back up to 97. I took a deep breath, alright. Let me take it off and let it recover. Take a deep breath, recover, and go back up again. Alright, it's going to go back up. It's going to take a couple of seconds to get to my finger. Again, I have compromised. I have arrhythmia, and I have my left atrium is enlarged because I have a mechanical problem with my heart. All right, It's not going up, but yes it is. I can't see. Oh, 99. There. See? 99. Okay, now I'm going to try the mask that was given to me by the doctor's office, handmade with felt and cotton. Okay, I want to watch what happens to my number. I have the mirror here so I can see, because I can't see what I'm showing you. I'm just confident that it's going to be what it is because I did a test already. So, yes. And of course, the sweat and the perspiration, and I'm breaking out. It's still 98, and I gotta give it a minute. It's gonna drop. This one is kind of loosely fitting. All right, 97. It's kind of loosely fitting around the nose, so it does let air come in. But it's very heavy. I think I have it on upside down, actually. If there is such a thing. I think I have it on upside down. It's kind of loosely fitting, but it's very heavy, very warm. Here we go. I don't know if there's a right way to wear it. See, there's no standards on how to wear a mask or what the stipulations of the mask have to be. They don't say that it has to cover this, it covers that. It doesn't have to be so many inches over the mouth and the nose, how tight. They don't say anything about it. So, all right, 97. It didn't go that bad, but it's very, very uncomfortable because it's very hot. Very, very hot. It went down to 96 before when I did my test. If I stop talking, it'll go down because I won't be taking deep breaths. I'm going to stop talking. And if I exert myself. If I go on the staircase, it'll drop. 96, okay? It'll go down. If I go on the staircase, it'll drop. Okay, and then it'll go back up again. And then I'm going to do the really, then I think I'll do this mask, the one that they gave me free. Okay, so it's still 96. It's going to take a minute to recover. Take a deep breath. Room air. Again, like I said, I'm not exerting myself. When I do exert myself, it drops. Anything that stays under 90 needs oxygen. 97's going back up. Even my heart rate went up a bit. The top number is my heart rate. The bottom number is my oxygen. And the lines is 98 now. The lines going up and down is my heart. I have arrhythmia. So my heart's not that wonderful. And, you know, this affects it. Okay. Whoop. I'll try this one now. $97. $98. Okay, not too bad. But I'm not exerting myself. Whoops. Wait. Okay. It's restarting. 97. Okay. 96. It's going down. 95. Ha! Yeah. 95. Alright. Now I'm going to do the one that I made. Really thin, loosely fitting, not very large. This is how I often wear it with my nose sticking out. Oh wait, let me get back to normal first. It's at 96. I have to get my oxygen back up before I do this. I gotta do it properly, you know. Gotta start from ground zero for each mask. Deep breath, 98. Okay, here we go. Okay. Still doing good, 98. Whoop, it's restarting. 98, all right. It did go down before, went down to, with this mask. This is the thinnest mask of them all. And it's the one I made, it's like a bandana. It's very thin. Like one layer, not two. 98. So this one isn't as bad. This is my favorite, preferred, and most comfortable one, except for when I start sweating and it gets all heavy from sweat, it's even less permeable for air. Because I want it to be permeable for air. So if it's permeable for air, that also means that the germ is going to get through, because the germ is as small as air. It's so microscopic. So it's so ridiculous. It's 97 already. Okay, so it is going down with this mask, but not as much. But this is my preferred, more comfortable one. Except when I get sweaty, it gets worse. Because it doesn't breathe as much. So now I will let my oxygen go back up. Fresh air. Again, this is at rest. This is not with exertion. With exertion, it's even much lower. All right, 95. I'm still catching up. Give it a minute. It'll go back up to 98. Yeah, 98. There you go. Fresh air. 99. See that? So it went from 99 to 95 with all my masks, sitting at rest with room air. If you're in elevation and the air is thin, if you're exerting yourself, if you have any kind of medical problems, or you're dehydrated, medical problems involving metabolic, medical problems involving blood anemia, or low iron, or hemoglobin, or lung capacity problems, or lung muscle, you could have fibrotic lungs from having, had flu and pneumonia in the past, and you have scar tissue, whatever. You could have heart problems with the pumping, or the arrhythmia, or mechanical. You could have a hole in your heart. Some people do, and it hasn't bothered them their entire lives. But then suddenly now you have to wear a mask and you're being challenged. So you have a pump problem. There's a lot of different things that could be going on. You could have, cardiac, you could have other, cholesterol and cardiac vascular disease and whatnot. You could be very intolerant because of your thyroid. Many other medical conditions that could affect your oxygen and your breathing. And so I just wanted to tell you that these masks, no good. No good. They could do the person who's wearing them more harm than they're doing saving other people. If common sense tells you, and a lot of people don't use their common sense, if you've got a little tiny super microscopic thing, especially when you're out, you can't argue with me when you're outside. Now, I'm not talking about when you're in a hospital with a bunch of sick people. I'm talking about when you're outside, or even in Walmart. That little tiny thing is not going to land on you. What's the risk of having you suck one in? I mean, really, I don't think so. You have more chance of passing germs by not washing your hands. It's not sneezing into your elbow so it doesn't spread. You don't need to sneeze into your own mask and keep wearing it. That's asinine. That's ridiculous. So that's all I have to say. Throw away the mask and just use proper logical precautions, which we always have been doing. Just make good practice. Everybody should have clean, good hygienic practices. And that's it. All right.